I want to make a video now today to discuss and give my support with solidarity with another YouTuber by the name of Jacobin. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because Jacobin made a video that was in solidarity with me. Now, his video was essentially attacked by someone called Premier Liles. I think that's how you say it. He did a live stream with some other people, and they did a response to it. And frankly, it really wasn't very good at all. Going over Neil Jacobin's response to their response, I mean, for some reason, Liles felt it was necessary to insult his intro. Like, that was like the very beginning, like the very start of the video. I don't know why that was really necessary. But I did want to hit on some very specific statements that were made against me. Premier Liles claimed that I have no sympathy for Black Americans. Well, if that's true, and explain all of the Black Lives Matter support videos that I've made. In fact, I've always given my support to Black Lives Matter. My only criticism is that I think they should be more radical, more Panther-esque. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. So it's very interesting that he would make the claim that I don't care about Americans, or I don't care about first world people in general. I have said very specifically, resistance in the first world, revolution in the third. So I don't know where he's getting this idea from. I think this is something that him and a lot of people like him have invented in their own minds as a reason or a justification for hating me, or just as a more of a emotional knee-jerk reaction in rejecting third worldism. Because I've also made a lot in support of indigenous struggles, or particularly the Dakota Access Pipeline. Remember when I stood in solidarity with indigenous people that were opposing Russia putting a pipeline or what have you through an Arctic people's land without their permission, and then shutting down their group that was put together to resist it. And then a few people accused me of IDPol for that. Well, that's not IDPol. So to say that I don't have any sympathy or don't care what happens to first world people, I mean, this is simply not true. This is something that he's invented in his own mind. Now, Neil Jacobin disagrees with me on some things, and sometimes, quite a lot of things. But he does so principally. That's okay to disagree with me, that's fine. But he does it in a respectful manner. He doesn't attack me. He disagrees, gives solid arguments as to why. That's how that's supposed to be done. Now, Liles, by contrast, uses Neil Jacobin's disagreements with me as a way to attack me. But that's not what was happening. Neil Jacobin wasn't attacking me. He was disagreeing with me on certain things, and that's fine. But Liles misrepresents them in order to make them look like attacks and attack me further. Now, here's something that I particularly object to. Liles claims that Endamian and I are enemies. We're not. I am no enemy of Endamian. This is complete nonsense. We disagreed in a video exchange. I thought his criticism of third worldism was very, very weak. But I don't see him as an enemy. In fact, I like his stuff. And as I have said previously, I think him, Finbull, and I should get together and form something very strong. I wouldn't say that if I thought that... I wouldn't have said that in a previous video if I thought we were enemies. So that's complete and utter nonsense. You'll notice that when Endamian and I had that exchange, we disagreed, but we did not insult each other. And on top of it, he also said in his video that third worldism makes sense. Now, Neil Jacobin likes me, and I think this is why. Why the people who like me do. Why they're fans. Is because they're tired of the old Marxist orthodoxy that hasn't changed. And I think that's the case with a lot of people. That's why the Bundes like me. That's why there's, some anarchist groups in Arizona that like me, because I do not follow the old orthodoxy. And we recognize the third world is that, ideology has to be updated. The scientific analysis has to be updated. I may not disagree with it. I mean, they may not agree with it, but they recognize that it's something that needs to be done. And I think that's a case for a lot of people. I think a lot of the people who like me are tired of the old orthodoxy. And I think a lot of them are tired of the antics and the ideas by BreadTube. Because quite frankly, I think in terms of Marxism, they're actually very quite disappointing. I can't speak for anarchism, but I can say of what it is that is supposed to be Marxism, it's actually very quite. This is very much the case. It is disappointing. Now later he claims that I have a cult of personality. What? What are you even talking about? I don't have a cult of personality. Like, what even is the evidence for that? Oh, there's kind of a meme-hood around me, which is something that I'm not particularly happy about, but it's there. And that tends to happen to anybody who gets some degree of fame on the internet. That tends to happen. So this accusation that I have a cult of personality, that's just outright slander. That's just an accusation coming out of nowhere just to attack me for his own... whatever it is in his mind that compels him to say stuff like that. And what I want to give is solidarity to Neo-Jacobin, because some of the best comments that come into my videos, the comments in the comment section, come from Neo-Jacobin. And I think the way that he's been treated by Premier Liles is simply unacceptable. It's nonsense. People like Neo-Jacobin deserve support, because they make real criticisms with respect in an open dialogue way, and that's the way it's supposed to be done. This stands in quite a stark contrast to the very insulting, misrepresenting, and frankly slanderous way that Premier Liles decided to do it.
Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.